Hi, it's me, Carrie, the artist whose page you have visited. I'm not really good at making videos right now, so just bear with me while I read some shit and then show you some shit in hopes of making this world a better, less shittier place. Okay, so here we go. Since most of us became verbal, we have been conditioned to consume, to buy, to spend, that if we just have X fucking Y and Z, we're gonna be happy. We will then be accepted by our neighbors, our peers, if we just have the next four-wheeler, the next car, if we just have the house and the wife and the baby, if we just have the things society tells us we need to be happy, we'll be happy. But we're not fucking happy. Our society is so divided right now and being poisoned by a well of propaganda to get us to hate each other. So, back to my little here. From the moment we could reach the cereal aisle, reaching for those carefully crafted cartoon characters that were designed specifically to get children to consume high sugar cereals to destroy our teeth and speed up childhood obesity. McDonald's long crafted the Happy Meal to lure children to highly unhealthy foods by means of our toy prize. Cigarette companies even designed cartoonish looking characters to get children hooked at a young age to cigarettes. Gotta get them young. Make more money that way in the long run. So bear with me. Get them hooked young and make money. Everywhere you go, there's a billboard or a pop-up ad on your phone or whatever website that you're on. Buy, buy, buy. Consume, consume, consume. So we all get that sweet dopamine rush when we get an item that we all get a dopamine rush when we get the item, or the new clothes or shoes or whatever, but that dopamine, rush doesn't last very long. So this machine, so now there is more than ever on our, more and more our devices control us, with the hateful propaganda machine spreading fear, anger, lies, and hatred, poisoning us against each other. We evolved on this planet in most of history of the human race to live in groups and communities, to create. Creation is who and what we are. We create things. The potter would trade with the artist for the decoration of self-expression. The baker trades bread for the potter's cups. The farmer trades food for the weaver's baskets to pick crops. We as a species are creative beings yearning to live a comfortable life, doing what we love, instead, we are being broken apart as a society and as our communities are crumbling. Art can be deeply healing, and it can be a form of self-expression that is something that our soul yearns for. And so I want to start a video series I'm trying to figure out how to teach art, but also how do I teach you to embrace spirituality, whatever that is. I don't give a shit. Start embracing nature, as these fucks are about to destroy. They're selling off our national parks. They're opening it to mining and logging right now. How do we reconnect with nature? Because in my opinion, what is wrong with our society is the breaking down of our communities. It is our separation from nature and our food sources. And it is the propaganda machine that is filling us with hate and fear. So I want to combat that with just teaching some basic watercolor stuff, and I want to combine that with going out in nature, finding inspiration in items that you can incorporate into art, and just learning to be self-expressive and creating instead of consuming. So that's this part of the spiel. So I'm gonna go get my stuff. Oh, for this video you're gonna need watercolor paint. I am using, this is Kuretake watercolor paints. This is a very old set. As you can see, it's very old. I like this set because it's pretty cheap. It's like 40 bucks for all these colors, 40, 50 bucks on Amazon, where a lot of, higher grade, and it's a pretty good grade of watercolor paint. So, and they're very vibrant. I really like these colors. So I'm going to use this. So you're going to need watercolor, a paintbrush, a spray bottle, if you have it. Don't need it. And some salt and a toothbrush. So, all right, that being said, let's start shit. Rebelling against the fucking oligarchs. Motherfuckers. All right, peeps, here we are. Let's make some art. This is going to be just something really simple. This is just trying to show you how watercolor works, really. And we're going to have some fun doing it. First things first, you got your paper, right? You need paper. We're going to use some salt because salt makes cool things happen with water. Then we're going to go ahead and pick a color. Today I want you to pick whatever color you are feeling. I am feeling a little hopeful today, so I'm going to do yellow. So a lot of artists like to activate their watercolors, which is just spraying it with water. And I'm going to do two colors. I'm going to do yellow, and then I'm going to do green. So I'm going to pick a green, and I'm going to go. All right, so the water is charging those watercolors so you can use them. You can also use your paintbrush, which is actually what I've done most of my years. I just take a wet brush and I just keep wetting it. Anyway, so now we're just going to add water to the paper. And also, I have my paper propped up against something just so we can get some cooler effects here. So I'm just covering my paper with clear, clean water. Just like that. Now I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to go, and then now what I'm just going to drop it in, and then I'm just going to let it bleed, and then I'm going to pick up the paper and I'm going to tilt it. I'm just going to let it do its own thing. I'm just randomly, I'm not even picking anything. I'm just and then I'm just letting it run. And then I'm just going to keep turning the paper. Letting it run. And now I'm going to spray some more water. So I want this to run more. The one thing that I find annoying about Apple iPhones is, for some reason, the camera makes the painting look really muddy. And that's not what it looks like on my end. It looks really bright and cheerful. It's just a nice yellow. And now I'm going to take this green. I'm going to put this in. And again, just pick whatever you want. And again, this is just random. Whatever. And then, so now this is what I love. Actually, there's this artist, Kanta Harris Yusaki. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. He does this really amazing watercolor nature scenes. And most of it, what he does is he just puts very wet paint, and then he does this. He just moves his painting around and watches all the color just blend together. Honestly, there's just something therapeutic and just fun just watching the color just merge together. I'm gonna add a little more. Oh my god, all right. Video making is not my thing. Oopsies. All right, bear with me. So here's what I got so far. So again, this is just two colors. This is just a quick little how to show you. So watercolor is dependent on water. So you put water down, and then you slap some watercolor in here. So you can also just take your brush, load it. This is called loading with water. Pick up some more, and then just drop it in. now, one of the biggest things about watercolor is water. So when your water looks like that, get rid of it. Toothbrush, you load it with some color, and then you just flick it. And yeah, and then you just flick it. And now I'm going to add some salt. Banish some negativity, people. Let's get rid of some negativity. So you just take the salt and then you just sprinkle it wherever you feel. And that's it. You just let it dry. So again, this is just an experiment just to show how watercolor behaves, how you need to use water for watercolor, making sure you always change your watercolor water. Oh yeah. And so here's my end. Again, the freaking iPhone just makes everything look so dark and muddy and kind of ugly. So sorry about that. And then I'll give you a clip of what it looks like when it's done. And then what we can do is just add a nice quote once this is done. So once this is done and it dries, you peel the salt off with your finger. And then, like I said, you can just write a nice poem. You can write a quote, anything cheerful. And one of the things about art is learning to also express your negative side. So it's really hard for people to do, which is why it's kind of easier just to start with something something bright and cheerful. So this is something I did. Again, I was just experimenting with all my different types of paint, and I was just slapping them down and just having fun. And then I write a cool quote over it. And yeah, and this is a different one that I did. Again, these are just experiments, and then I just write some quotes over it. But yeah, so that's today's experiment, hopefully it's therapeutic. Like I said, I really find it therapeutic just to watch it, just move the paper around. Sometimes I like to play music and dance around with my paper in my hand, just let it like smooth and just watch the paint just move and blend together on the paper. So, all right.